Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the Nethergreen podcast. I am your host, Bradley.
And I'm Hector.
Yeah, and this is a special episode. This is a juicy, sexy episode because we have, as often, as sometimes, occasionally,
a frequent
appearance from an infrequent co-host.
Yeah,
it's Leander.
It is Leander. I'm here once again to.
But not only do we have Leander, but it's actually a very special day. Leander, what day is it?
Oh, it's my birthday.
It's Leander's birthday.
Yes. And we've also got Luke.
Luke's here too, I guess.
Yeah, I've been dragged back against my will.
Luke's only been on one episode of the podcast before. Yeah.
It was a good one, though.
It was a good one.
It was okay.
And also, I've just realised Leander has now been on the podcast like twice as many times as Dan has.
Oh, probably.
Sounds like it's good, issue.
Probably, yeah. I could quickly check to see how many episodes you've been on, if you're
We've
curious.
Done a lot
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we've got 52 episodes, and your first appearance, I remember, was in episode 26. I'm pretty sure I've got that committed to memory. No, I'm wrong. I'm really wrong. It's episode 23? Yeah. So you're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh yeah, way more than Dan. He's been in way more than Dan. Dan's been in 4 episodes?
11, 12, 13. So you've been in 13 episodes of the 52.
And Dan has been in...
I can check, yeah.
4?
So he was in episode 4, and then he wasn't on for ages, and then he came back in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 5? Yeah, 6, he's been in 6.
He's been in 6?
Yeah.
So Leander's been in literally twice as many.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. You're better than him.
So Leander is now officially more of a co-host than Dan.
Yeah. Oh, he always was anyway. And Luke's been in, let me check, 1... This will be your second episode, Luke.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. But how are you? How have you enjoyed your birthday, young man? How old are you?
I'm now 20.
Wow.
Big 2-0.
You're so young and innocent and pure.
So youthful.
I bet you haven't even lost your anal virginity.
Bradley lost his when he was 5.
Yeah.
It all began.
Oh, Dad.
Story time.
But
it's been a really good day. Normally I'm not big on like celebrating my birthday. Normally I just kind of let it pass by. Yeah, go
sit in a dark
meal,
room and cry.
Curl up in a corner, all that fun stuff.
The crying corner.
But no, it's been nice. We did. We went to an escape room, which was
did we?
Fun. We did.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, I'm learning this at the same time as the audience. I'm excited to hear about it.
And
what was that?
That was a burp. You might want to redo that whole bit. Sorry.
No, I'm keeping that in. That was a weird noise you made. That didn't sound like a burp.
It's a screech.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
When I booked the escape room for all of us, I thought, you know what, we're all relatively smart enough people, so I'm going to book the hardest escape room.
Yeah. Boy, he was wrong.
What was the success rate of this escape room? Can I ask?
35%, which kind of, when you think about it, it's more than a third of everyone who tries it. So it's
but only slightly more than a third.
Yeah, true, but I had faith in us.
By 2%.
It's really important to Bradley that we're more intelligent than the average people here.
Well, no, because it hasn't been revealed if we even passed. Maybe we failed miserably.
Yeah, we could have. We could have failed miserably. But, I did think we were going to fail miserably when, at the first hurdle, I led us to the completely wrong location.
Yeah. A 40-minute walk away.
Yeah, a 40-minute walk away.
We had to immediately order a taxi to get there pronto.
Yeah. So that was that was a little bit stressful because, I wasn't sure if they'd even let us in. So that was... Thankfully they did, and essentially
I still can't believe you didn't check the address.
Okay, well, in my mind, I was like, there's only really one main escape room. It didn't even register in my brain that there was any more. And it probably made sense why... The worst part is I'd been to this one before already. Not this exact one that we did, but I've been to that place before. And I couldn't commit it to memory because it is in, like... It
was a creepy area.
Yeah.
Like the one you thought it was is in, like, the middle of the city. Like there's shops on every
It
side.
was
And then
busy. There were people.
yeah. And then the taxi takes us to like a dark alleyway in like the slums of
devoid
Gotham
of
City.
people. There were no passers-by.
At one point, a bat flew out of a tree and crows were crawling.
I saw
It
a
was
dead
like-
body on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An old man went, "You will go down that road."
And then he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did we do? What did we do? What was the escape room about? Let's spoil it.
Let's spoil it. Okay, so the escape room was called
The bicycle. There's something about a flying
the
bicycle.
something clubhouse. It
The
was
secret
the
clubhouse.
secret clubhouse. That was it.
I don't know why it was called that. It should have
Yeah.
been called The
Something to
Legend
do
of the
with
Flying Bicycle.
Yeah, it was something to do with an inventor and his flying bicycle that exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I read through the whole script they gave us on all the lore and what we were doing, but I cannot for the life of me remember any of it, apart from the fact we had to find out what happened to this flying bicycle.
I mean, the law ended up being irrelevant because it wasn't until the last 5 minutes we opened up a new room, a secret room, and then I saw the bicycle and I was like, oh, that's what the idea of this is. I thought we were just finding locks, which is what we were doing. We were just finding locks. But it was fun.
What this did actually kind of remind me of is, do you remember ages ago when we were in a Minecraft server together, specifically me and you, Bradley, we were going to make like a story, like an actual...
Like an adventure map.
An adventure map.
You okay?
Sorry. Yeah.
An adventure map which was based on like villages or something. Do
Yeah.
you remember? Yeah, that's actually quite fun. And I thought it would actually be really fun, I bet, to make your own escape room.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that
And
would
we
be
make
really
it so
fun
that
to
they
make.
can't escape.
Oh, and then we kidnap them.
And we kill them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sell their
We,
body
we
parts.
sell them. We human traffic them.
Yeah,
That'd be
perfect.
really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, obviously, if this is the first escape room I've ever done, I've always wanted to do one. I thought it was very fun. It's just a shame we didn't win, or did we?
Oh,
we?
We did.
We did.
Yeah,
We won.
We crushed it.
We fucking
yeah.
destroyed it.
So even
Literally,
though
we crashed through the wall of this. That's how we got out. We crashed to the other wall.
used Bradley as a
We're in prison
battering
right
ram.
now. Yeah, we're recording this from prison.
We crashed through our escape room into someone else's escape room, and then we escaped from that escape room
Holy
because that escape room had a 90 success rate.
But no, we got a pretty decent time. It was 50. So we had an hour slot to do it in,
Yeah.
and so we did it in 50 minutes.
In like 3
And
seconds.
in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good considering that we already had
a time penalty for being late.
a time
yeah.
penalty. So we already had I think it was like 10 minutes less than we would ordinarily.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, it was like 7 minutes because it was like 3 minutes to go on the timer.
oh yeah, that was.
And she was like, "Well, I'll add on the time you lost because you were late." And then she looked at Leander and she was like, "Because you were late." But yeah, we fucking crushed it, and we did it. And the best part about it is we all had a moment to shine.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. The whole day in general was great. We even aside from just the escape room, which was very fun. We went to Nando's. We went around John Lewis. Bradley almost died
fucking
in John Lewis.
really fun, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Alright,
bit
so
of
here's-
shopping.
Quick,
Send Bradley gift cards to John Lewis now.
All right, I for the you know, I just hate malls. I hate shopping. I hate walking around looking at things that I'm not going to buy. Whenever I go to a shop, and I mean any shop, if I'm just going to pop into Tesco, I don't just pop in and browse. I go to a shop specifically knowing I'm buying these items and then I'm leaving. The idea of walking around a shopping centre, which we did for about 2.5 hours, is torture for me. And I was dying. At one point, again, my brain was turned off. Leander asked me to spell something, and I just spelt it like completely wrong. And he was like, "What did you say?"
I actually remember what I asked you to spell. I asked you, what kind of shops do you look around? Because at this point, Bradley was becoming a zombie, and
Yeah.
I could tell he was really not enjoying himself. So I was
It's Burton's, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, what shop do you usually go or buy stuff from? And he was like, oh, Burton's. And I was like, Burton's. So wait, how do you spell that? And he was like, BRU. And I was like, now, call me crazy, but I think that's the wrong
Yeah, but then I
spell.
still, so it's BUR, but I went BRURTON. I think I forgot the S. I was like Burton's.
Yeah.
You were like, what?
The worst part was when I asked you again and then you just repeated it back
I
to
did.
me. Yeah.
So yeah, my brain had completely switched off. It sucked. I hate it. I hate that. And that's the second time you've made me do that. And
It won't be the last.
it will be.
It won't.
I think it will be, because next time I will just go home. I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. But yeah, I mean, and we went to Nando's beforehand, and me and Hector got into a bit of a tiff, I'd argue. I'd say so. Did we not?
Of what?
You said that I was complaining too much.
Oh, we just said you were complaining.
Yeah, everyone said that. That wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
That's the
disagree
general
with that.
consensus in the whole Nando's.
Everyone in the party noticed that you were complaining a lot about.
But I
many
wasn't
things.
complaining. I was alright.
We sat down at Nando's, and one of the first things that you said was like, "Why the fuck are there stain marks all over this table?"
Yeah, but that's
Don't
not a
people use
complaint.
coasters?
That's not a complaint. That's an observation. I literally was like, "Hey, I'm not complaining."
You didn't say that. You didn't fucking say that.
I didn't say that, but in the general vibe, I just sat down and I was like, "Hey, you know, why don't people respect the wood here? They should have coasters built in."
All right, you see, that on its own isn't anything. But the reason why I pointed it
No,
out,
it's something. It's an observation.
no, I mean, like, it's not anything that would be worthwhile me pointing out.
Yeah.
But the problem was that you didn't just say that. You said about 12 other things within the span of 20 minutes. Like
What? What else did I complain about?
There were so many.
Name me one other thing I complained about. I don't think I did.
I think it was the repetition of. Then you went on a side story of if you owned your own restaurant.
Yeah, but this is
you
true.
throw people out for disrespecting the coasters.
Because disrespecting the coasters at that point would be disrespecting me because I specifically asked them to use the coasters. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's a fair thing to say.
Okay, I think other things were you weren't too happy that we weren't going to be able to eat our food in a timely manner, and we were going to do it quickly.
Who likes to be rushed? Who likes to be rushed?
Me. I love inhaling
We had
Ample
40 minutes to
time.
eat.
40 minutes to eat.
Ample.
Not just eat, but 40 minutes to eat and order and actually sit down and just prepare yourself mentally for a draining day.
Food came 17 minutes after we ordered.
It did.
Which left us only 20 minutes to eat.
And you ordered 5 minutes after I ordered. And it's still in that...
Well,
It's
that's
still
because of
there.
the internet. You can't blame me for that.
Oh,
See, there was
the other
so
thing.
many
That was-
things that Fanny was complaining about.
that was the
That
other
was
thing
why I
that-
pointed it out.
But they're not
Everyone was thinking
complaints.
it.
They're observations.
that was
Everything
the
I
other
said,
thing. They-
everything I said was true and factual.
There was no internet reception for you, and so Hector goes up and he walks a few
So
steps.
yeah, I do the normal thing. I go and get reception and order it. I come back and you're still complaining about it.
Yeah, but that just is true. I did what Hector did. I got up, I walked about 6 feet to the right towards the door, and I suddenly got full bars and I was able to order my food. But I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to get up from my table, walk towards the front door, about 6 foot, just to order my food and then sit down. At that point, the waitress should come over and be like, "Hey, we noticed you haven't ordered on the app. What do you want?" No, I shouldn't have to stand up. And by the way, okay, if everything I'm saying is true, it's not a complaint. A complaint is false. A complaint is if I was like, "Oh, that sweater you're wearing, Hector, I don't like it. It's garish." That's an opinion. Everything I said was not an opinion. It was a fact, and that was also that was a fact. Too,
You're going to make Hector Google the definition of a complaint now, and it's...
Oh, but if I did complain, I'd say I stopped once we got to the escape room because there was nothing to complain about. Apart from the fact that you got the address wrong.
Yeah, that was a little bit... Yeah.
And then you made me walk through my own personal 7th floors of hell.
Yeah, that was your punishment.
That was Bradley's Inferno.
That was the punishment for all the complaining.
That wasn't a pun. I didn't deserve to be punished for saying true things.
Yeah.
And then, as if God was watching and was like, "Oh, Bradley's been having too good of a day," when I hadn't been. We went to a pub and ordered some food, and I was like, "Oh, I'd like a burger, plain, please."
Actually, this is the cherry on the cake because you'd been complaining to us about so many small, stupid little things all day, and then we get to the pub, and the only thing that you should have actually complained about, you were too nervous to complain about it to the waiter or the waitress. And you didn't mention it at all. The burger that came out wasn't a burger; it was a piece of charcoal
It was
in
shit.
between two buns.
I ordered it plain, but I thought it was understood that even if you ask for a burger to be plain, you still include some cheese. Every time I've ever asked for a burger plain, they have never forgotten the cheese. This burger had no cheese.
No, it did.
No, it didn't.
It did have cheese.
Okay, it was so hard that at one point a bit of it fell off, and just to prove how hard it was, I started cracking it on the table, and it crumbled to dust.
It was black. It was actually black.
Okay, I know the listeners can't see
No.
this picture.
Send me that
I've
picture.
pulled
I'm
up.
going to put that on Imager.
Yeah.
And if you look in the description, you will see a picture of the burger.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't be fooled by the fact that there's only this chunk remaining. This is because it is.
I handed it out.
Yeah,
I was like, every single person on this table has to try a bite of this burger.
It was
horrific.
so unbelievably bad. We all had to try this burger.
My first thoughts when I saw that burger my first worry was, oh no,
Buddy's going to choke to death.
No, my first worry was, oh no, I know Bradley, he's fussy. That doesn't look like it's made out of beef. That looks like it's some sort of weird, like, beetroot, like, vegetable sort of
a Beyond burger.
Right, it didn't look like it was made out of beef because it was such a weird colour. But no, it was just like fucking charcoal.
Yeah.
It was just like actually black.
And see, the fact that I didn't complain about it proves that I haven't been complaining all day.
No, because it just means you were only comfortable to complain to us.
No, that's not what I mean. Because
that's all that it means.
Because,
which makes you worse. That makes you a bad person.
That's not what
you're
it means.
going to unload all of your complaints onto your friends instead of the waitress to get a refund.
It means while we all believe that the burger was bad, that's an opinion, and I didn't want to discuss that opinion. I want to discuss true, unadulterated facts, like the fact that coasters should be used,
or like the fact that the burger is not supposed to be charcoal.
You know, but that's I don't think it's even an opinion anymore,
that's not
because
an opinion,
a starving child wouldn't eat that burger.
Yes, they would.
No, they would.
Yes, they would.
Okay,
they would break their teeth on
is
that
the burger was charcoaled, and another fact is that 99% of the time burgers are not like that.
I mean, that is a fact, but that doesn't give me the right to complain about that. Especially not to the lovely waitress. Dude, there's one point where she was like a mother to Luke. Luke was he was tucking into his steak. He took one bite, and she comes over and she goes, "Everything all right, guys?" She looks at Luke specifically and goes, "Is your steak okay?" And Luke's chewing and he just raises and gives her a thumbs up.
Mouthful of steak. Just,
and she was like, "Oh, goody," and she walks off.
And she shuffles away with her apron and her slippers and her really curly hair. Yeah.
Okay, so we also in the pub we played a game of I Spy, and at some point Luke, the lovely Luke, who hasn't talked much this episode. You're not a big talker, Luke.
I'm not.
Okay, you don't have to elaborate.
What else is there to say?
But look, you did a G word, and we spent a lot of time trying to guess G's. To the point where we just started being silly with it. We were like, "Oh, is it Gable? Is it Hector? Is it Bradley?
Is it a glass of water?"
Yeah. And then the waitress comes over and
while we're doing this,
and she puts down like one of the starters, and no one else heard this but Hector. But
yeah, and basically she came over. And she was like, "Is all the food good?" And we were like, "Oh yes, it was great." And she goes, "You're welcome." and I heard that, and like as she walked away, I was like, "Hang on a second, did she say?" Because we'd just been doing that for the past like 20 seconds, saying, "Oh, glass of water, Bradley and Leander."
She must have walked over, heard us saying all these weird stuff, and been thinking about it as she said, "You're welcome."
I mean, you're the only one who heard it.
Yeah,
but I hope it's true.
It is true. Just
because I love the idea of her saying "you're welcome" and then walking away and not knowing why she said it. And I hope it haunts her for a little while. She's like, "Why did I say you're welcome to those customers? To that lovely boy with the steak? Why did I say you're welcome?" But yeah, I also bought myself a little present. I when we were in John Lewis, the only thing that I enjoyed throughout that entire 2.5 hour experience is I found the game Blockbuster. Which I've played before, but you guys haven't. And after the podcast, we'll play it because it's a good game, and I'm going to win.
You know, one thing. There was one time when I was walking around John Lewis, and it was with I can't remember who it was with, but I knew in my head I was not buying anything, and we ended up walking around John Lewis for maybe
2 hours.
It was about 2 hours. And oh my god, I felt like a complete zombie. So even though, you know, we laugh about like how you would literally become a fucking zombie, it was boiling hot in there. And when you're not like actively looking for something that you want.
Not only was it boiling hot, but I was wearing layers. I had my scarf, my big coat. I've got pajama trousers on under these again. And
his face was red.
And not only that, but like I don't think I've got ADHD specifically. But I get bored really easily. And not being funny, but when I get bored, I get sad. I'm like, life isn't worth living. I think I said throughout the entire 2 hours, I must have said, I think I want to kill myself. about 85 times, and I meant every single time I said it. It was just torture.
It was jarring to see though, because obviously everyone else was enjoying looking around.
I don't understand
myself.
you people. You people are like animals to me. Walking across a field, being like, "Oh, look at all this grass I've seen every day for my entire life. Oh, I can't wait to eat this grass." Like,
we mentioned it, but imagine going into a place like the Cambridge John Lewis, tripping on LSD, and being in there for a couple of hours. After you've been in there for a couple of hours, if you were in there for a couple of hours without something specific that you're looking for, you would lose your mind.
Like, I'm really good on acid, but I'm pretty sure if I did that 2 hour experience, when you'd have been like, Bradley, it's time to leave, I would have been like, I can't. This is me now. I am
Leave?
Mr. John Lewis.
There is no leave.
You would have had to wait for the acid to wear off. I'd have been in there for 12 hours, just wandering the halls screaming. I would have stayed there. I'd have been like a ghost. Like,
oh, the carbon ghost. Oh.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad you had a good day. I did have a good day. It got tense between us at some point.
No, Bradley,
Yeah,
you were just winding everyone up all day.
I think
you were in a really weird mood today.
No, I wasn't. I disagree with that. No, in Starbucks specifically.
Okay, I think it was kind of like a combination of me just feeling drained from us actively like doing stuff all day. So at that point my social battery had it was nearing dying and needed recharging. And I was like, I mentally I was just not there for it, and I don't know. I can't remember what it was that set me off. I think it was like the pretentious thing, and for some reason that really got to me, and it bugged me.
I am sorry,
but
but let me explain. And that's the thing. That's what because it shocked me, your reaction, but it's because I do this a lot anyway. I think it's funny. If someone tells you something and then you use the word gaslighting, but it's not, because I'm saying it in a way that everyone knows I'm lying. If I was actually trying to convince them, it'd be gaslighting.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I wasn't that wasn't just clicking in my brain.
But yeah, so he was talking about coffee, and he was just being very general with it. He was like, "No, I don't like the coffee here. I mean, they kind of burned their beans." And
it was like a dark.
Yeah. And I turned to Hector and I was like, "Man, your brother's really pretentious." He said that the coffee here is. I said a word. I said a word that I'd never used.
For some reason, I just took you dead serious, and I was like, "Wow, yeah."
Yeah, and another way I tried to make sure everyone, I tried to make it obvious, was I just kept adding to it, and I was like, and he said that he taught his manager everything he knew at work. And I was just adding to it, but you took it really seriously, and that it shocked me a bit. It shocked me.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that funny. No,
it wasn't that funny, but I was trying to entertain myself. But at the same time, it wasn't that funny, but it wasn't that bad. I wasn't expecting that sort of reaction, Because you got really pissed off, and it shocked me. And I honestly, no, I mean, obviously I also overthink things, but I was like, man, I've ruined his birthday. And then on the way home on the bus, I was like, maybe I should head home. Maybe.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
No, it was...
Everything calmed down in the pub. But yeah, no, it got a bit tense there. Yeah, I think I've just brought the tension back by bringing it up. Yeah.
Let's go to bed. That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah, but have you had a good day?
Yeah, it's been a great day. Yeah.
What are we going to do for the next one?
What, for the next birthday?
Yeah, for his next birthday.
We're going to do back to back.
Sorry, Luke, can you lean forward if you're going to talk, please?
No.
Oh.
We'll do the exact same thing.
Yeah? The exact same escape room.
The exact same thing. We'll go to Nando's. We'll go to John Lewis. Bradley will complain about loads of things. We'll go to the Starbucks. we'll do all the same things will happen. We'll do the exact
okay, let me ask you this. If you genuinely believe, if you're not joking and you genuinely believe that I was complaining a lot, because I also I do acknowledge the fact that it could be a joke, that I'm not. Is it a joke?
It's not a joke, but it is funny.
Yeah, but do you think I do that a lot, or was today different?
I don't think you do it as much.
I don't think I complained. I genuinely think I was just making observations. Everything I said was true.
It's just fine. It doesn't matter that much. It's just funny.
I don't know. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. Anyone else have anything? I haven't got topics. We haven't had any topics.
We bought Leander's new PC.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, we bought Leander's new PC with a small form factor case.
The four of us took, it took a lot of effort from the four of us. To build it.
Bradley was downstairs the whole time, and Leander watched. And, I mostly watched Luke. It was basically Luke. Luke basically pulled the PC.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I was going to join in,
No, you weren't.
No, I was. But
He
yesterday we got very drunk, and I also took half a pill.
He didn't.
And then I just started talking to Shimong, and then I
He
just
was
kept
preaching
talking.
about the Lord.
I wasn't
He was
preaching about the Lord. I wasn't talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. I wouldn't do
I've
that
never
on
seen
pills. I
this
do that
trailer.
sober. How did it go then? How did it go building the PC?
It was wow.
Eventful.
It took you like 2 hours.
It was pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
There
It's
were,
small.
yeah, it was small, and also the computer didn't turn on in the morning because we forgot to plug in the CPU power.
Oh,
That was the one job Leander had.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Wow, so you really were useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
actually
think,
hindered it. You
But
sabotaged
this
it.
morning, I was worried that the computer was just not going to work. So we'd maybe the CPU wasn't compatible with the motherboard, but that was fine. It works like a dream.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works like a dream.
Yeah.
It's a little bit loud, but it is a smaller PC, so it's all squashed into a compact case. But it's pretty good.
It just means whenever Leander's on Discord device, you're gonna have to talk a little bit louder.
Yeah. And possibly you want to undervolt the CPU because if it's running at like 82, 83 degrees when gaming,
You might want to.
You're like a human talking to an ape here. I don't know what.
You might want to
that
defrag
means.
your hard drives too and update your drivers where you're at.
undervolting your CPU just means that you like manually make it consume less power.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
less powerful, but it also doesn't get as hot because less electricity runs through it.
I see.
Yeah, you might want to up the amp volume too.
But like, if you want the PC to last for a really long time, then really like you shouldn't have the CPU running at 80 degrees or above.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you could undervolt it a little bit. It probably won't really affect the performance that much, but you just might not hit those super high temperatures.
I mean, if you really want to, like add to that, you should reverse the polarity too where you're at.
You could overvolt it.
You could overvolt it, overclock
yeah.
the CPU.
Overclock the CPU,
Yeah.
get it to over 100 degrees.
Actually,
Make
Oh,
this, make
easily.
make the CPU the power source.
Just
and have
take
it
off,
power
the
everything you
CPU
own.
fan, take out all of the fans, plug it straight into the mains, and just
Start a house fire.
exactly, yeah.
Take that
Yeah.
computer to the wreckage of Chernobyl
Yeah.
and plug it into the remainder of their nuclear power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the easiest computer you've ever built, Luke?
It's not the easiest.
Was it the
It's-
hardest then?
Maybe.
Really?
Harder than your one.
Harder than my cousins?
The instructions weren't as good.
Well, on the
The
case.
touching the cable can be picked up sometimes. So.
Can it? Oh.
Can be.
Yeah.
It's all good. We can't hear anything over you guys.
Yeah.
You're not talking, Luke. You can't say shit like that when you're just not talking.
I mean,
Maybe I have been talking. Maybe you've just been blocking me out.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to edit you out of this episode.
I mean, generally, the smaller the PC is, the harder it is to build.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like if it's in a massive big case, it's somewhat easier to build because you've got more space and you can just kind of slot everything in. But with this one, like,
It's like Operation.
yeah, exactly. You have to like pull some tricks out of your sleeve to like get it to all fit in there, and it's also a fucking nightmare because then like if you realize that you've forgotten to plug in the CPU power into the motherboard, you then have to like pull out everything and plug it in.
Or you have to force the power supply to be the wrong way around.
Or you have to force the power supply to be the wrong way
Is that what
around.
you've done?
Which we did.
Yeah,
we had
which
to
we've
force
done.
the power supply the wrong way around because it is just that small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remember to put that thing on the back that you always forget?
Yeah, we did that.
You
Yes.
did do
That's
that.
the one
Yeah,
thing
this
Leander
is the first time. Yeah, Leander actually did that
We
himself.
made him do it, so when it messed up.
So that's the only thing you
we did it.
contributed.
On all
Hell
the
yeah.
PCs, apart from this one, I've never put on the I/O shield.
I know, I put mine on. I always
Yeah,
put
yeah. I that's
We did
the
it to
only
yours
PC
as
I've
well.
done it with mine.
your cousins. Or...
Yeah, but that's only after I pointed it out, and then we had to move something anyway. So it was like, okay, we might as well put it on.
Was that before I started helping you guys install it? Because I didn't start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it was-
yeah.
I think
So
it was before.
we did a little bit. Then when you came to help, you were essentially like, okay, let's kind of just take it out and start again. And that's when I was like, we might as well put this in there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a skill issue on your side.
Yeah.
Well, on Hector's side.
What was it that needed to be doing? I can't even remember.
Oh, fuck knows, mate.
Yeah.
It was ages ago.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's old news.
It's old news.
Yeah.
That computer broke, by the way.
Wait, really?
No.
That'd be fucked.
That computer
That'd be
started
really
a
fucked.
house fire.
We'd
My
be
heart
throwing
died.
That'd be fucked. No, yeah. I like building PCs. It's fun. Like, look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. It's the size of an Xbox. It's got the power of like 3 PlayStation 5s.
I'd say that's smaller than an Xbox. Three PlayStation 5s?
That was an
I was
exaggeration.
about
Maybe
to say,
2.
isn't it?
doesn't even
Maybe
have
2
half the
PS5s.
Has it got an SSD?
Yeah, it's probably twice as powerful as a PlayStation 5. You
I
definitely,
think
yeah.
I'm definitely
Definitely.
looking forward to using it because having
£750.
having used like the same.
How much does the PS5 cost?
$550.
Oh,
Ooh.
so that's probably not quite double. But either way, it'll be more powerful than a PS5.
I'm looking forward to being able to use it for
Porn.
basically anything that requires any kind of good PC build.
Yeah.
Because currently I've just been using it must be like 7 years old now, this PC, and it's on its last legs. And
Didn't you tell me that your computer right now is so old that you can't even open Photoshop? You have to use Windows Paint. Did you tell me that?
No. I could tell if that was a bit or not, so I was like, I don't know, do I go along with this?
Yeah, it's an innocent bit. I thought, not everything else has to be raunchy and
I mean, the only thing that you might have to do is replace the CPU heatsink because it came a lot smaller than I was expecting it to. So, but that wouldn't be hard to do. That'd be pretty easy to do, and like
you could do it with triple bypass,
what? Let's say. And it would cost £64 to buy the bigger one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what made you stop at 750? Why didn't you go all the way? Go for £1,000?
Oh, I stopped at 750 mostly just for monetary reasons. I don't have the money to be spending like over £1,000 on a PC.
You're a broke ass bitch.
Yeah, real poor. But
Shouldn't be laughing.
But thankfully, that PC will do me wonders. So,
how long do you expect to keep it for?
I don't know. My previous experience with any PCs is just running it into the ground until it's basically unusable. So we'll see how long that goes
We
for.
give it about a month.
Yeah, a couple months at least.
So the
before
Bitcoin
that.
you might.
I mean, it should basically last like the general rule of thumb. A PC should last as long as
it took to build it.
the PC will last forever. Like the PC that you built before would continue to run Minecraft at the same speed that it always ran it. But the problem is
not true. Yes.
Oh, that is true.
That's not true.
That is true. But the problem is now if you want to play any new games on it, you're not going to be able to because any new games 10 years into the future aren't going to be able to run on a PC that's 10 years old.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to be wanting to play Minecraft at 30 or 40 FPS, which probably was fine 10 years ago. But
I was going to say for 7 years, originally, so the current PC I'm using, only in total it was only 550, and that's been holding out strong for 7 years. So quite impressed with that. Especially when in the back of my mind I was like, okay, after 3 years, that's it, it's over. It's not going to be useful anymore. The only thing I'd say is get a bigger heatsink for the CPU because that's like super important, and that's actually the main reason why laptops die after a while.
That's the main, and when laptops die, that's the main reason that children cry.
Yeah. But that's why Mac laptops are notorious for you buy a Mac laptop and then 5 years later, it's so fucking dog shit. Like all of our mums Macs, that's happened to. The reason is because the cooling.
It's happened to all of our mums.
Yeah, really? Even your mum's Macs?
Yeah.
Wow. It's a common issue. It's a common phenomenon.
Was that the issue with the really old Mac that we
Yeah. It's because the cooling in them isn't that good. So if your CPU is running at between 70 to 80 degrees for years and years, then eventually it just slows down because the silicon on it gets fucked up. Yeah. We got any other topics? We're at 36 minutes.
I don't mind if this one's a short one. It's Leander's birthday.
Yeah.
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Leander.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, me.
Plus, you guys should just be happy that you're getting anything from us. This is for free. We do this,
We do this completely for fucking free.
Start paying us, and we do 8-hour episodes every week.
Maybe we should try and start interviewing people on the podcast, actual interviews with people.
Like who? Who could we interview? Who are you expecting to get? Brad Pitt?
Dan's dad.
Why?
He's an actor. We could ask him about the films he's been in, what his opinion is on the movie industry, where it's headed. We could ask actual interesting questions that people would care about, rather than just the utter bullshit nonsense that we talk about on the podcast.
Dan's dad's a good shout. Name
Yeah.
a single other person worth interviewing that we know.
Matt, he works in the film industry. Like we could interview him, and he's done like loads of actual interviews before, so he knows. Like you could probably talk about lots of really interesting things.
Is that the direction you want this podcast to go in?
Well, no, but we could do some. Like I mean, like you know, like
We could do
some
one-offs.
interviews.
I'd
Yeah.
be down to do one.
We should
Yeah.
modernise your podcast.
Yeah.
Or like,
sponsors lined up.
I'd love to get some.
there's no harm in asking people, right? Like there's a random guy on YouTube who has 10k subs. He got Mark Zuckerberg on his podcast, and that blew up his podcast because he just emailed him and asked if he'd be able to join his podcast for an interview.
Well, I told you about that YouTube guy who, because I've uploaded all the ones to YouTube now, and I did a standalone video for when we talked about Tusk with like edited clips from Tusk, and then I go onto the YouTube studio and there was it had one, it barely got any views, but it had one comment from a guy who was verified, and I was like, okay, who's this guy? And I click on, and he had 250k subscribers, and his comment was like, I really enjoyed this video. Me and my pet human walrus really enjoyed it. If you're ever going to talk about a weird horror film again, let me know. And I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so we could do something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be down, obviously. I'd be down, but it's just we don't.
Can you be more down for being on the floor currently?
I could be down. I could be down in Chinatown.
he could be down in Chinatown, but like all I'm saying is we could at least try to email random people like British actors, British
Bill Gates.
directors.
Get Elon Musk.
Just ask them if they want to be on the podcast.
You met that guy who works for NASA.
Yeah,
Is that true?
I mean, is that someone not NASA, SpaceX?
SpaceX.
I mean, it depends if you want to have someone like that on the podcast, but I mean,
what do you mean?
Yeah, he works for Elon Musk.
But he's not Elon Musk.
Or is
no,
he?
but wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Is that the direction?
Well,
of the
why did
podcast
you
you're
why
on?
why did you bring him up? Are you bringing him up as in we should get people like that on the podcast?
Well, you're the one who's saying we should get anyone.
To interview?
Well, no, people like
to interview.
yeah, to interview, but
Yeah.
like people that are like relevant to the stuff we talk about on the podcast, maybe like.
But we talk about anything. It's a general topic podcast. Last week we did 40 minutes on homeless people.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could get people like that on the podcast. Yeah, I mean,
Homeless people.
there's probably a bunch of people like yeah.
We should get a homeless person on the podcast.
We actually should. Yeah. The problem there is the quality of the homeless man. We could get an actor and tell them to pretend to be homeless.
Nah. But only if we get like Keanu Reeves or someone like actually really famous.
Yeah. But I think we'd probably be delightfully surprised by like all we'd need to do is email or reach out to a famous person who just by coincidence doesn't have much going on this weekend, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come. And
But what if
enjoy
they
his
want
podcast.
payment for it?
Well,
You just won't pay.
then don't pay them, and then don't do it. And then that way we would only find people who'd be willing to do it for fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like right now we're at our level. I doubt we're going to get celebrities, like actual famous people. We could probably get possibly some YouTubers.
Hmm.
Especially if we were like, if you won, you could release it on. I mean, I don't know if that's actually a good deal for them, but we could be like, you could release it on your channel as like a you thing. You could cut it up and edit. I could give you the footage and you can edit it yourself, kind of thing, and then they could do something with it if they wanted.
Mm. That's a good point. Yeah, it could be like their own content because that's also a bonus. We're so small, so they can just post it on their own places and claim it to be their own.
I mean, I wouldn't agree to that. I'd be like, well, if you're going to do that, I would credit us in the description. Link to us.
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe. Also, I last week I did think of a new recurring segment I'd like to do on the podcast. Towards the end of every episode. And if we're going to wrap up now, then I suppose it's the right time to do this segment.
Okay.
Alright. Luke, Hector, Leander.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hypothetically.
Oh, fuck me. Hypothetically, cue the gayest, most homoerotic.
No, here's
hypothetical
hypothetical.
question.
And again, I want you all to really take this seriously and to give a real answer. What would you do if when you were building Leander's computer, a little CD drive or a hard little memory stick fell out of the box and you were like, oh, that's weird. You finish putting the computer together, you turn it on, it works perfectly, and then you see the hard drive, the little memory stick on the floor, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. And you put the little memory stick into the computer and it comes up and it's ISIS beheading videos. But then you're like, oh, this is weird, and you're skipping through the videos, and then in one of the videos, the terrorist, he's looking at the camera and he goes, "This is for you, Leander," and then you see him behead like a school child or some shit. Like, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do?
What would you like us to do?
That's not what I asked. Just like, what would you do? How would you react to that?
I'd apologise.
I guess my first thoughts would be that it's probably a prank.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't take that seriously?
I'd probably think it's some sort of prank.
These are like very realistic videos because it's real. This has happened.
Have you seen what you could generate with AI?
Who do you
That's
know that
true.
could do that?
Loads of people.
That's good.
Loads of people.
Okay, so would you also just assume it's a prank?
See, I
What
feel
if
like
in the
it's
video?
such a-
What if in the video he also goes, "This is not a prank"?
Then I would
Definitely
immediately. Okay, if
think
he
it's a prank.
specified there wasn't a prank, I'd immediately know.
Yeah. Well,
But
if I
the
saw
thing is,
something as
it's-
grotesque and serious as that, my immediate thought would be that's AI.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you just show it to the police. You know.
Yeah, you show it to the police, but when you Leander specifically question like, "Why me? Like, why have they sent this to me? Why didn't they name me in the video?"
Yeah,
Like,
true. I don't know. I'd just be paranoid as fuck.
you'd call the police though, right?
Yeah.
This is like bringing up a. Excuse me. This is bringing up a recurring topic that's come onto the podcast, which is the relevance of this in AI. Because with AI you can just make those videos now. So what if I generated a perfectly realistic video of you as if it was shot from a CCTV camera of you stabbing someone to death outside a shop, and I staged it so that someone had actually I stabbed someone outside the shop myself, but then I showed that video to the police and like.
Well, if that ever
how's
happens,
society going to change if that's like?
if that ever happens, I'm glad that you've said it and I've got the audio of this now.
Yeah,
So
but
that I know that you did it.
But how is that going to change society when essentially video material is no longer credible evidence?
Hypothetically, then, because AI is an issue. So instead of it being a video of an ISIS beheading, you get a written threat, a written letter that says your name, and it says, "We're coming for you. We know where you live. Signed, ISIS." What would you do?
Okay, I would begin to question whether or not it's legit. Like, what the fuck do they want from me? I am 1, poor, 2, very poor, and 3, what do they want? What do they?
Yeah.
What,
What do ISIS want?
I would
They want to terrorise.
immediately think that Leander had put the letter in the box written himself as like a funny gag. That would be what I would think.
Okay, so a level of distrust would build between you and your brother.
Well, no, it wouldn't be distrust. I would just, if I saw that there was a letter from ISIS.
Yeah, but would you believe him when he's like, "I didn't write this"?
Then I'd possibly believe him, and I'd think, oh, then it's probably Gabriel.
Okay, so a level of distrust would build between you and your entire family.
No, not distrust. If I saw a letter inside the box of a PC component and it was signed supposedly by ISIS, I would think it was just like a funny gag.
Yeah, but if you think it's a funny gag, then that means there's a level of distrust there. Who are you blaming? Who are you believing when they say they didn't do it? Are you going to believe me when I say I didn't do it?
No, definitely not.
Exactly. So a level of distrust has been built between me and you at that point. What would it take for you to be convinced that it wasn't a joke and it was real? Apart from everyone denying it was a joke. Because of the level of distrust.
If I saw ISIS.
Okay. How about you? What would it take for you to believe it?
if I saw them beheading me in person.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's so unbelievable that the only thing that really could make me believe it is, like, if something actually serious happened. Because anyone could send a letter to me.
What if you got the letter and you didn't believe it and you were like, oh, this is dumb, and then you crunched it into a ball and you threw it in the bin, and then you took the bin out, and then 8 days later, the United States Secret Service arrive at your door and are like, you Leander, we need to talk, and they...
my immediate response would be like, what the fuck are you doing in the UK?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. Fuck off.
I see, you wouldn't even trust them.
Yeah.
Does the UK have a Secret Service? MI5?
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah.
MI5, yeah.
Alright, so MI5, James Bond
Isn't it
himself.
MI6?
No, MI6 is Foreign Affairs.
Oh, I see.
Well, technically, is this not Foreign Affairs?
ISIS.
If it's within the if it's in the MI5 deal with like terrorist that's within the UK.
Okay.
MI6 is like stuff abroad.
Both one MI5 and one MI6 agent come to your door and are like, are you Leander?
Also, the Queen of England.
Also, Barack Obama.
Yes. Also,
But
ISIS.
MI5 and MI6 come to your door and like, Leander, I feel you're saying your full name.
You said it twice.
Oh
now.
yeah,
It's more than twice.
Just say
now.
Leander.
We might have to cut this off.
I'll send to it. No, it's fine. They're like, Leander, we need to talk. And they, you know, they have been saying your full name the entire segment, haven't I? Holy shit. But yeah, they take it away. At that point, is your immediate thought being, oh, I bet this is about the ISIS letter, or do you think it's about something completely unrelated?
I'm sorry, I was hearing the words you were saying, but my brain is just, this room is so fucking hot that I am...
Don't worry, we're going to enter it. So my question
dying.
was, MI5 and MI6 come to your door. They're like, are you Leander? You need to come with us right now. They don't tell you why. They drag you out of your house. Is your first thought being, I bet this was about the ISIS letter? Or have you forgotten about that by now? You think it's unrelated?
I think that it's possible.
I don't think I'd be thinking anything.
Oh, why?
You're telling me that you would be having long, extensive thoughts that are going through your brain as you're being dragged out of your home?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, especially
There's
if it's by
no
MI5. No, I'd be like, why are they doing this to me?
It would just be adrenaline and panic.
No, yeah,
Oh, so you'd fight back. You'd fight MI5, MI6.
No, you wouldn't.
If you're being physically dragged out of your home, you're not thinking about
Are you
it.
fighting? But you're exactly. You're pumped with adrenaline. You got rage. Are you fighting back?
I didn't say rage, just adrenaline.
Are you
like
fighting
pure-
back?
No.
No, not against.
Not against MI5.
Yeah.
How do you know you
MI6.
believed it? Not only that, but you got a threatening letter the other day. This could be
They
them.
will
This could be them in
fucking
disguise.
shoot me.
Yeah, but you don't even know if they're real. This could be them in disguise. You should fight back. What would it take for you to fight back?
This is derailing.
This
so
is derailing
quickly.
really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking about
50
terrorists, and with this, would you rather for 10 minutes?
That's fine. This could be
yeah.
the last question. What would it
Okay.
take for you to fight back against MI5 and MI6? Try and drag you out. How what would it take?
What would it take?
What would it
I mean
take?
this in the most sincere way. I have no fucking clue.
What would it take? They'd have to. What's the one thing they'd have to do for you to be like, I'm officially going to fight them back?
This is what we've been dealing with all day. Right?
I just want to know. I want to know.
This is why there's been conflict.
And what if they threaten your family? Are you fighting back? What if they
I
kill
mean,
your
I
cat?
guess.
How do you not know? I know what they.
I'm so like this
Why
is
is
such a
this such a-
bewildering
Why
question.
is this
This is the same level as like, okay, so in a hypothetical scenario, if you were to get into a fatal car crash, what's your reaction? What would you do? What would you do in that scenario? Like, what would you mean? What would I do? I'm getting apprehended by MI5.
No.
What do you think I'm doing?
They're trying
Like
to apprehend you.
Okay. Yeah.
They've burst down your door. You're in your bedroom. You know, they're kicking down your bedroom door. You're fight or flight. What would it take for them to say or do for you to be like, fuck this, I ain't getting out of a fight?
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing. I don't think
Probably
there's a
nothing.
single thing.
Yeah, probably nothing.
Because also when you take
You
into
coward.
consideration,
Bradley,
I
you would be
weigh-
shitting, pissing, and coming in your pants and crying if MI5 and MI6 were
Okay,
trying to
No,
Let-
because
let's-
again, I
let's-
don't really know if they're MI5. It could be anyone.
Let's put it this way.
Why would I believe them?
I'm a skinny 55 kg young man. If two
Not got any weapons.
if two grown men
that look
Oh,
like MI5
that are
agents.
dressed like MI5, I'm just doing what they say.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
They
if
could-
you try and
okay,
fight
then-
them, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're-
because your whole
yeah.
family could get
Okay, but
killed.
what if you haven't?
think
What if you
could
haven't?
take
What if you
two-
haven't seen what they look like yet? You've just heard the door get smashed, and they were like, "Leander, we need to come." Blah blah blah. And then you hear him running up the stairs.
What answer are you
Yeah,
trying
well,
to get?
I don't know what
What?
answer you're looking for.
What do
What do you
Like,
want
what-
from us?
what do you
what-
I just
what
want to
answer-
know what it would take for you to find them.
Nothing.
That's
I've already.
the
That's the answer. The
Nothing.
answer is
I wouldn't
nothing.
fight them.
Like what I, you know.
Honestly, if I
there's-
didn't see them, I didn't know they were MI5. All I heard was someone smash down my door. They were like, "Buddy, we need to get you," and then they tried to smash down my bedroom door. I am fighting back. And I'm not saying I'll win.
See, I think
I'm not going out
think,
without a fight.
I think you're just trying to like slightly alter it until I am in aligned with what you would also do.
yeah,
That's
actually-
what's
yeah,
happening.
That's
here.
it. Yeah,
That's it.
That is
Until
actually
I
it.
say what you would also do, you're gonna keep saying,
That's
"Oh, but
it.
what if?"
That's so
Oh, but what if?
accurate. That's
Oh, but what
literally
if?
what you do
Oh, but what
every
if?
time. There's
Oh, but
a
what if this?
hypothetical.
But what if this? But what if it was this? But what about this? Okay,
Okay,
Leander,
but-
well, what about if
Yeah,
there was
but-
16 MI5 5 agents, each with guns pointed at your
What
family.
if they didn't have guns?
Threatening to, like what? Like yeah. What if they didn't have guns? What if they were small dwarfs? What if they were midgets? Like,
What if they were all in blackface?
but you know what I mean. though.
Forget about the fight. Forget about the fight. But would you assume that it had anything to do with the threatening letter you got from ISIS?
Yes.
How quickly would you assume that?
I thought you said that was the last question.
You refuse to answer it? You refuse to answer that question?
Is this the last question?
Sure, maybe. I guess we'll see.
Fuck.
Answer that. Would you assume it immediately, or?
Yeah, for sure. Probably. I don't know.
But you're pumped with adrenaline.
I don't know. You're pumped with adrenaline. Okay, I'm just gonna say it outright. I don't want to answer these weird would you rather anymore. I don't know the
It's
answer.
just going to be a recurring segment.
I don't know the answer.
Oh man. I'll let it go for now.
This segment at the end of the podcast, this is now banned.
It's not
We're
banned.
not doing this again.
Yes, we are.
Okay, this is banned because we've somehow stretched this podcast out to almost an hour and doubled its length.
That's what I was
And I
aiming to
guarantee
do.
no one will want to listen
Yeah.
to this.
I think I
incoherent
think that's the best part of the episode.
Jesus Christ.
How about you, Luke? What would you have done?
Good fucking lord.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. That will be a recurring segment. It doesn't matter if one of you answers. I'm going to ask a question, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for
Happy
listening.
birthday, Leander.
Happy birthday to Leander. He's been harassed by Bradley all day.
Now who's complaining?
That was a joke.
Well, mine was observation, so. I'm joking. Alright, but yeah, thank you for listening. This is a bad episode. This is a bad episode of the podcast. I didn't enjoy this one.
And on that note,
I think it's because we're all tired.
goodbye.
We're all genuinely tired. We were up till like 3 or 4 in the morning this time. We woke up at like 9 and we've been out all day. We're tired, we're delirious, we're sweating.
Glorious.
Dolores.
We're
Like DeLorean.
DeLorean.
What did
That's a
I
car.
say?
You said delirious.
What is the word?
Delirious.
Delirious, yeah. See, I'm really
There
tired.
should be a new segment. We just piss on Bradley.
Yeah, like I'm trying to bring some fun to the podcast, trying to bring some creativity, trying to have some fun with my brothers. I want to know. I want to know.
Complaints.
I want to know what.
Get him out. Get him out. I knew you had some still left in you.
What I'm saying is, I just wanted to know what my friend Leander would do in that very specific scenario. I don't.
That is continuously being altered and ever changing.
I don't know. Just because you didn't know the full grasp of the situation when I started explaining doesn't mean it was altered. But I don't see why I should be villainized for that. But yeah, we'll end it there. I think this might be the end of Nethergreen.
Thank you and
Good night.
Goodbye.